Hi, Mariela. I'm Lisa Sain Odom, and I first want to say it was a pleasure to hear you sing, and I'm excited to give you just a few thoughts I had about your performance. First, you should know, like with any master class, please take my comments back to your teacher, and if she finds them helpful and useful for you, then I hope you guys will work on them together. If there's anything that she thinks doesn't work for you, then please feel free to discard those ideas. These are just thoughts I had when I listened to your performance. But the first thing I want to say is what a lovely voice you have. I was so pleased with how well you can move through the melismas. Your voice is really flexible. I describe a voice that moves like yours as sparkly. So very sparkly voice, and I enjoyed that a lot. Also, the piece is really long and requires a lot of the singer, and you were so well prepared with it, and I just really appreciate that. A wonderful performance from a young singer, and I'm excited to see where you go from here. So in regards to your performance, one of the first thoughts I had for you was regarding posture. Now, you seem to me to be doing a great job generally overall of taking really deep, low breaths, low in the abdomen, low in the body, and that's excellent. Something where I think posture might help is more how you exhale, how you manage your breath as you sing. And it looks to me, just from watching in the video, that you might be a little bit collapsed in this area in the chest. And you'll notice, I would encourage you to go back and watch. There are times when you go towards high notes that your arms kind of come up a little bit here. And to me, that tells me maybe there's a little shoulder tension when you go for your high notes. Maybe you're tensing up here a little bit in the upper body. And so a couple ways I like to work on this with singers. One is I would encourage you to try to sing the whole song with your arms above your head like this. Just sing the whole thing here. What you'll feel, hopefully, is that when you hold your arms up here, your rib cage is sitting really nice and high, higher maybe than it feels normal for you. Your sternum is up. And then as you reach for particularly high notes, if you're moving towards a high note, I would like you to think about that outward movement of the rib cage. So you might want to think about, you're like in an Indiana Jones movie or something, an action movie, the walls are closing in, and think about pushing out against the walls as you sing those high notes. I'm gonna look and see. I made a note about places where you have those. I think it's around page 88 where you have a bunch of leaps. You have one that's like a low E to a high G over an octave leap. Those are great places as you're going up. There's one place where it's just one after another. You're leaping up to Gs. If you'll think about out, every time you reach for those high notes instead of squeezing in, I think that could maybe be something helpful for you. And the other thing I would suggest that you look at, particularly again in the top part of your voice, is when you're singing a high note again, make sure you have enough space in your vocal tract to accommodate that. There are a couple different ways you can think about that. You can think about modifying the vowel. You can think about making sure your soft palate is lifted, the roof of your mouth in the back, making sure that stays up. But something I would suggest to you to try is, of course, you have your top teeth and your bottom teeth here in the back of your mouth. Maybe think about, as you go towards those higher notes in the passaggio and the break of the voice and above, think about those teeth moving away from each other. The top teeth and the bottom teeth here in the very back, moving away from each other. So you can do that without having to drop your jaw a lot. If you have any trouble with your jaw, you can still move those teeth apart and keep your jaw really nice and relaxed. And I think that might be really helpful. There's a place, I'm assuming your teacher has the same book I do. So if it's on page 88, it's as I glide along to thee, you go up, up, up to that G at the top, and that thee makes us want to close here, right? Thee. And if you'll just think thee, but with your teeth apart in the back, it's going to give you a little bit more space. That run where you have alarm and you go all the way up to the A, that would be a good place to, as you're moving up, just keep those teeth apart more and more. But overall, I think you did a beautiful job. Here at the end, I just wanted to particularly congratulate you on your beautiful phrasing. You really paid attention to accents, staccatos, and all the markings that made this not just a well-sung piece, but a really thoughtful performance. So thank you for that. It was a pleasure to hear you.